Be local, be intentional.
You just stick to those old fundamentals.
Yeah. I guess one thing that hasn't necessarily been impacted, and we'll get to this in a second, is like your Google local business listing or Google business listing. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the ProfitDig show. My name is Chris Work. Here with my brother Jerry Work, also partner of ProfitDig, producer Jerry.
Yeah.
You know, we've kind of changed our format a little bit, man. You know, always behind the camera.
Well, there's only
at the table.
There's only two of us here tonight, so that it would just be you.
Our audience didn't know that, Jerry. This was actually filmed in front of a live audience this evening.
So it would just be the Chris Work show, you know, if I was behind the camera tonight.
That's true. That's true.
You know, I don't know. You might just sit there and talk to yourself for 15 minutes. Pull off a pretty good show.
It may be entertaining. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'd be curious to see what kind of comments or feedback we get, or unsubscribes to the channel.
But yes, so in general, new format for the show. We got the lavalier mics.
I know.
We're using.
We're trying to reduce some technological clutter.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, you know, we don't have microphones and cables and
Exactly.
stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
So, gosh, man. Well, hey, we were talking earlier, Jerry. You know, just some challenges that you and I are in the marketing business. We're also in the software business. Obviously, you're here at the ProfitDig YouTube channel. But we were just talking about some challenges, some things that we've been dealing with our clients. And a common question that comes up is, you know, now if you pull up your phone, you go to your browser and the computer, what have you, you do a Google search. You know, you've probably noticed that, I mean, obviously not every query, it depends on what you're looking for, but you have all these AI overviews sort of dominating the top of the page. And that's having a real impact on people's web traffic. I guess one thing that hasn't necessarily been impacted, and we'll get to this in a second, is like your Google local business listing or Google business listing or Google, good grief, what do we call this now?
Google business profile.
Google business profile. Thank you. Jesus. It's it's one of those other things, like there's so many acronyms and everything changes like every few years and this and that. But we were just talking about, okay, so let's just say I'm construction guy, I'm local, I have a website, you know, how might I obtain some of this presence in these AI overviews? And we've been doing a lot of work in this space, and we read a lot about what everyone else is doing and testing, looking at studies and whatnot. And there's a few things that I have personally discovered and I have read. I was reading a study earlier today. I know it's hard. You guys are busy, you're in the field, you're running your business, but blogging. You know, if you don't have a blog, create one. Frequency in your content creation. And I'm not just, I'm not saying just for the sake of posting a blog, don't jump on there, throw a picture up and drop a paragraph. Be local, be intentional. So if you're creating a blog post, let's say, like, you can dive in. Honestly, the more specific topic you get into increases the likelihood of you appearing in these AI overviews. Let's just say if there's a common question, let's say you have customers who ask about permit requirements or something like that for a job. Write a blog about it. And again, don't be, too general or vague. Get specific. I mean, write the ultimate guide to acquiring your permit for insert the blank, whatever the service is that you may be offering to that client, and post that on your website and localize it. Your service area. It may be Middle Tennessee, West Tennessee, or your town. I mean, if you're in a larger community, say Nashville, for example. Well, someone who is performing that type of search, how do I obtain a permit to do ABC? Google knows your location. Yeah. And if I have content floating around out there, especially if I have the ultimate guide on how to obtain this permit for ABC in Nashville, that really increases the likelihood of you obtaining or acquiring some of that space in the AI overviews. And like Google Local, like we were talking about earlier. There's Google, for example. I mean, you can post photos, you can create content snippets, and citations. Your local address. There are odds are, unless you've lived in the same place forever. Let's say you work out of your home. If you have moved around over the years, but you've been in business for a few years, then you probably have multiple addresses floating around, in these various business directories. There's software you can subscribe to that sort of help you wrangle this in and get this information updated. But if you have moved, just type in your old street address and you're probably going to find it in these old directories and claim those listings and make sure that the address, contact, telephone number, all that information is accurate. Because AI overviews, especially when there's local intent with these queries, it relies on some of that.
And the funny thing is that that has been sound local SEO strategy for many years.
Yeah.
Really, most of it now is if you just stick to those old fundamentals and do it properly, that's the same thing that you need to do to be doing for them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's ironically, you can even use some of this AI technology to help you with this. You could probably ask AI, you could be like, look, here's my company name. Are there, local web directories that contain my company, and what is the information? I mean, I know ChatGPT, I know we were sort of jumping around here because we were really focused on Google AI for this video, but ChatGPT, obviously another player, probably even larger than Google AI at this point. I don't know, but and use it to create content. And then I'm not suggesting that you just create a piece of content and copy and paste it into your blog, but you could also ask it for an overview, sort of give you an outline and then sort of work from there.
You know what? I don't know, this might be going kind of deep for who we're, really making these videos for, but
I don't know.
You know what tool I'm liking in the AI world?
What's that?
For just that type of thing you're talking about?
Yeah.
Claude.
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 I think.
AI, I think.
Okay.
What it is.
Yeah.
Man, as far you say, hey, research whatever, like you were saying, here's my company, here's my address, find directory listings that are incorrect or whatever. Man, it will do it.
That's fantastic. Now I use CLAUDE. Do they have a free version?
Yeah, I'm only using it for free.
Fantastic. CLAUDE.
Yeah.
CLAUDE.ai.
Yeah, and we have ProfitDig has a company ChatGPT account and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so you and I both, we try out a lot of this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Claude is the one that I'm finding, man. I think it's the best just research tool.
That's fantastic.
Go find this.
I need to make a note of that. I need to check it out. Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
Well, I mean, we could go deeper into the content creation side, or should we maybe save that for another video here? Maybe you get started on the blog, and let's get the frequency going. Use local intent. If your Google business profile if it isn't created, create it. If there's anything out of date there, get it up to date. Post there, include photos, as much information about your business as you can. And then, like we said, if you've been in business for a while, odds are you're in other directories. Just search yourself on Google or use Claude or something, a tool to kind of help you find these. There are monthly subscription tools. They can get kind of expensive though. I mean, if you're like me and after a hard day's work and you're in the recliner with a cold beverage, then just whip out the laptop. You can do a lot of this yourself. So yeah, check it out. Get everything in sync. That can go a long way. Anything you'd like to add there?
Well, like I said, there's a million details we could add to that.
I know.
But that right there, that's your
foundation.
If you just do that, you'll be ahead of your competition because most of the guys you're competing against are probably not doing that.
They're probably not doing much of anything. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think let's get to work. And while you're here, guys, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave us a comment, let us know what you want to talk about. And again, if you're here you're probably in construction or you're bored out of your mind, check us out, ProfitDig.com. We're the world's easiest to use estimating and costing solution. We'll see you guys soon.
So yeah.